What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to talk about a story out of Detroit, Michigan that blew my mind. Now, this story broke yesterday. Now, supposedly this happened on Monday, but I was waiting around to get some pictures of this guy, and here he is. This guy right here is 66-year-old Robert Romero from Detroit, Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, this man got fired from his job, right, a week ago. What he did on Monday was, Monday morning when two women employees were coming into work, this guy ambushed them, ran up to their car, poured gasoline on them, and set them both on fire. One woman is 57 years old, unnamed. The other woman is 50 years old. And the reason why he did this is he thinks they had something to do with him being fired at his job. Now, we all had coworkers we don't like. And we all been fired at one time or another at a job due to arguments, disagreements. Sometimes people think favoritism, or just any type of, anything can happen. But to take it to this extreme is mind-blowing. Take a look.
But we begin tonight with a startling investigation out of Detroit. A man apparently so angry about getting fired from his job that he went after two former co-workers that he saw as a problem. Arson investigators say the man ambushed the women, pouring gasoline in and around their vehicle with them in it, and then setting it on fire. Thank you so much for joining us for 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford. The women are expected to survive serious burn injuries. 7 News Detroit reporter Kimberly Craig has more with the witness who saw it all and getting an update on the investigation from Detroit Fire and police.
I'm told the victims, two women who are best friends, drove together this morning in this silver Jeep, and moments after they parked, I'm told that's when a man who was recently fired ambushed them.
Just walked up and did it.
Just walked up to it and lit them on fire. I heard nothing but screaming. That's something you see in the TV and movies. I never seen anything like that. It was crazy.
Thomas Saldana works at Tompkins Machine Products in Southwest Detroit, where two of his co-workers were ambushed in the parking lot by a man in his 60s who was recently fired.
He used to work here. About a week ago, they fired him because him and the ladies were arguing. I'm not sure the reason why, but he ended up getting fired, so maybe he thought that the reason why he got fired was because of them.
Early Monday morning around 6 a.m., shortly before the women, one in her 50s, the other her 60s, arrived for their shift, we're told some employees spotted someone nearby they thought was suspicious.
He was hiding in the dark. Some people said they seen him before it happened. They said, there's some guy over there lurking around the parking lot. So once they said that, not even a couple minutes later, he walked right up to their vehicle and just tossed gasoline in there and lit it right on fire.
Two other workers rushed to help the women, then they and Saldana went after the attacker.
So I hurried up and jumped in my truck, and I pulled out and I ran down there, and I seen him on the sidewalk. So I drove up on the sidewalk and knocked him off of his bike. And once I did that, the two other guys caught up to him and tackled him, and then, they might have roughed him up a little bit, but they held him down until the police got here.
Arson Chief Dennis Richardson on the condition of the victims.
They're currently listed as in temporary serious condition right now. Burns to their upper torso, face, neck, and shoulder areas.
Detroit Police Chief James White says the suspect could soon be charged with arson and attempted murder.
He got up out of his bed to come here at 5 in the morning to light these poor ladies on fire.
I asked Chief White if they had contact with the suspect before.
We've had police contact with him in the past, and for very violent acts.
Thankfully, the women are expected to survive their injuries.
I've been coming here for 26 years, and I never seen anything like this.
In Southwest Detroit, Kimberly Craig, 7 News Detroit.
All right, guys, that's the story. This guy's being held with no bond. But I want to show you something. I'm looking at this article up here, and it's talking a little bit about this guy and his past. And I told you before, people that do a lot of crazy stuff, it's a buildup until it gets more and more extreme as their anger mounts within themselves dealing with their own lives. Now take a look at this. It said Michigan Department of Corrections records show the defendant has a lengthy criminal history with convictions for assault with intent to do great bodily harm, felonious assault, domestic violence, arson, and charges dating back to 1998. Records show, listen y'all, he was on probation at the time of his latest alleged offense. Now, this guy got assault with intent to do great bodily harm. That could mean anything. That's exactly what he did right here, where he set these women on fire. Now, these women didn't die. Let me clarify that. But they're not doing too good in the hospital. The charges he has right now is one count of placing offensive. What is that? One count of placing offensive substance causing physical injury, and 2 counts each of assault with intent to murder, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, and felonious assault. He did this before. Now, he might not have did it to this extreme, but he did something similar to this. Because down here it says, now if you look at the charges he has, right? 2 counts of assault with intent to murder, 2 counts of intent to do great bodily harm, and felonious assault. Down here, what's in this record? Felonious assault and criminal intent to do great bodily harm through assault, dating back to 1998. This guy's a repeat offender. And that's the thing. We go through life lessons, and it's like we don't learn anything from them. We don't. This is my thing. It's not a lot of self-reflection in a lot of men. They can't resolve conflict, and a lot of it comes from them having an inability to self-reflect. Like me, I'll give you an example. I was a bank robber, right? Knew it was wrong and did it. But I was willing to accept anything that came with it, whether that was me losing my life and being shot by a cop, or being grabbed or held down until the police came. At that time in my life, which was not a good time for me, once I was locked up, I had time to self-reflect. I got out. I ain't never looked back, because incarceration ain't for me, and it ain't for a lot of people. Well, most people, that's why they don't want to go. But you understand what I'm saying? You have a lot of time on your hands when you're in jail on your way to prison. And even when you're in prison, you're trying to manage time. So you have what? Time to think. When we're locked up, we don't have the distractions of the outside world, bombarded by advertisements, crazy stuff. We don't have that in there. But some people can't get out of their own way, whether it's mentally or physically. If you can't control because you remember, your body follow your mind. That's why I tell you guys in these things where you talk about crimes and stuff, if your mind can't figure it out, and you supposedly got good sense, but do senseless things, how can anybody feel sorry for you? They can't. This guy right here did this before. Now, not burning people up, I don't know, because it doesn't go into it. But he has the same charges he did before. So when you get to a certain fever pitch of anger, you can't control yourself. Okay, I'm not trying to get to where I was before, and I'm not trying to get locked up, because you've been on both sides of the fence. Freedom and incarceration, but it doesn't matter when you let 2 women make you mad. Now, they said this guy, right? Now, I want you to hear this. They said this guy was lurking in the darkness, came up on a bike. They said they were looking at him like, damn, it's a guy standing over there. Because this happened at the Thompson Machine Products place in Detroit. It's a factory in Detroit, Michigan. And I forgot to say, shout out Detroit. But people know you. He didn't have no mask on or nothing. He just went up there. He waited for him. Oh, they pulling in now. He walked right up on him. After being fired a week ago, he came back to work, got up early in the morning like he going to work. to set two people on fire and get vengeance. You could have got your ass up and went and looked for another job. You took time in your day to go hurt someone. Think about it. This guy is 66 years old. The employment's not going to come no easier. And that's the thing a lot of these young people need to realize. Money and your employment, if you don't establish that at a younger age to where you can work with conviction, if you running around here and unsettled, can't get yourself straight, jumping from job to job in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, the slimmings get paper thin in the end. This guy's 66 years old. I don't know how long he was working there. Don't even care. Because I don't know anybody. Well, I ain't gonna say I don't know anybody. The job's limited to him at 66 years old. It's slim to none. Why would they hire a 66-year-old person and get 2 or 3 years out of him that he has left, working his body to the bone, when they can hire somebody that's 26 and get 20, 30 years out of them? That's how companies think. You get phased out as you get older in some of the things that you do to make money, but nobody figures that out. That's why when I look up here and I see a lot of young men wasting their potential by doing crazy stuff in the street and not really figuring out life and getting on a clear path to be productive in the future. Future looks bleak. This guy shouldn't have did this at his age. 66 years old, you still tearing shit up in the streets. It's pathetic. Now, I know people can make you mad, trust me. But I mean, to do something like this after you lost your job, while at the job, it's a hell of a statement to make, and a stupid one at that. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Maybe they did do something to get him fired, but I mean, that right there is like super extreme. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.